Okay.
All right, we're live. I'm trusting you on that one because I don't know.
Hey everyone! Hey guys! Pie Guy Rules here, and welcome to the award show Audit. Shadow is here.
I am. It's me.
We've been gone for a very long week. It was a sad time. There was no live content from me.
Sad boy
I don't,
hours.
I don't know. You might have gone live in the past week.
I have not.
Oh man, what a sad week for all.
It's true.
Hello everyone. How do we sound this week? Is everything all right? Did we forget how to live stream in the past week?
I mean, honestly, as long as it's not as bad as the last stream, I think we'll be okay. Pie's a little. He's always a little low. Okay, I'll bump him up.
I think you just need to start me a little higher, friend.
Well, I'm trying to make it so you don't peak. That's the thing. I don't want you to peak.
But I want to be on the streaming service Peacock.
No, you don't. Trust me, you don't. Pie is loud now. Oh my gosh, there's no winning here.
I'm loud. Oh my god. I feel like someone's just gonna tell me that I'm low every week.
Yeah, and then someone else is gonna say you're loud, and there's no winning.
Oh my god.
Pie was fine before you turned him up. Ah. No, I gotta put him back down.
If I just don't speak. Oh my god, Shadow, buddy, just leave it. Just leave it. Everyone can hear me. I'll do a test really quick.
Okay.
SpongeBob.
Well, that got everyone's attention.
People respond to that, so we'll get a lot of responses, and we'll see if they can hear me.
Fair enough. All right. How about me? Do I sound too loud or too quiet or whatever? I saw I just peaked for a second there, so.
You sound too low energy.
Well, I've been having many long weeks, so. It's more like Shadow's loud. I mean, I can turn myself down. That's no problem.
Don't trust Pinata Time. Don't trust Pinata Time. I'm so sorry, Pinata.
Shadow's
I'm sure you're a
good.
good
Shadow
person.
sounds perfect.
But everyone else says that we're good, and Pinata seems to be the person with the problem. So turn up your headphones or whatever.
Well, if I'm too loud, they're gonna go deaf from me.
Goodness.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, the word SpongeBob got everyone's attention. All right, 2008. So we're here to talk about the long-form 2008 movies that were nominated for the Hour or More Emmy category. There were 3 of them. This year, in 2008, in real-life movies, popular movies were The Happening, that terrible film. Twilight.
Wow.
That terrible film.
Wow.
Cloverfield.
Okay.
21. Disaster movie.
Hey.
Everyone's favorite. Step Brothers. Ponyo. It was a weird year. The Incredible Hulk. I also think Iron Man too. Iron Man as well.
And well, The Dark Knight was 2008, so.
Oh.
There's that. That was a good one.
I'm just going by what Wikipedia is telling me, or not Wikipedia. Google is telling me. For some reason, The Happening came up first. But yes, The Dark Knight. That's probably the big one. Also, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Kung Fu Panda. Yeah. Wall-E. Yeah.
And everyone's favorite, Wall-E.
With a gun. Oh.
With a gun.
Not with a gun. But I wish he had a gun.
Without a gun.
Yes. You've got an enemy. All right. Anyway.
The Happening is probably the most Googled of all of these films, though. That's probably why it came up first for Google, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a notoriously awful film, but in a very strange way.
And Madagascar 2. Yes, the peak of cinema. We got Moto that year.
Okay. All right, buddy. Well, at any rate, would you like to announce the 3 nominees?
It would be my pleasure. All right. So for 2008, the long-form hour or more category had 3 nominees, and they were, first up, Justice League: The New Frontier, a DC film. We got South Park: Imagination Land, which is a 3-part special. And then, last but not least, we got Family Guy Blue Harvest, which wasn't actually an hour long, but with commercials it is. So I guess that's what we're going by now. I don't know. Sure.
If you wanted consistency, don't come to the Emmys.
Nope. It gets even more inconsistent next week.
Yeah, we have an actual TV movie, a 3-part South Park episode, and then I guess a 2-part Family Guy episode. Very strange. All right, let's talk about Justice League first.
All right, we'll start this off.
Yeah, this is not connected to the Justice League TV show. This is just one of the many, many, many movies that Warner Brothers have made about Batman, Justice League, you know, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff. This is, as far as I know, not in continuity with any other movie that they've made, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I mostly say that just because this takes place in like the 1960s, so I don't know how they would tie it in with any of the other movies that take place in this present day, but maybe they do. I don't really know.
Yeah,
should I try to describe the plot?
If you want to give it a shot, you know what? Go for it. Just go for it. You'd probably do a better job than me.
So it's important to note this is based on a comic storyline. In comic books, it's a big crossover, right? Where you can have 5 issues of Batman tell Batman's perspective of this story, and then 5 issues of Wonder Woman tell Wonder Woman's perspective, and then the Justice League, which is like the major events. You can do that. You can do that with a comic book series because you can pull in multiple different comics and everything. However, trying to condense that into an hour and 14-minute movie causes issues. So basically the plot of this is that we rapidly flip between like 6 members of the Justice League doing unconnected adventures post-Korean War. And then we discover that there is an island in the Earth's core that rises up and spawns a bunch of dinosaurs that everyone has to fight. Did I do a good job? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd say that was pretty good.
This was somehow incredibly boring and also incredibly weird at the same time. The first like half of this thing, it's like all of these Justice League members. I mean, this is supposedly in this continuity the founding of the Justice League, really, because most of these characters don't seem like they know each other. It's also the introduction story to the Green Lantern and the Martian Manhunter. So it's very like disjointed because it's all these random people all over the place dealing with various problems of their own, and then there's a lot of like post-war America commentary, like
a lot.
Which is not bad. It just doesn't really fit into the story they're telling. Like there's one point where there's a news bulletin. This is like rated PG-13, I believe. Where a news bulletin where white supremacists murder an African American superhero, and they call them white supremacists.
Yep, they do.
And that's just on the news, and they're like, "Wow, racism is bad," and it's like, yeah. But what is like that's not the story. It's like.
Yeah, and there's that whole scene in like the middle right before the grand climax where like the American army is going to attack the heroes because they're freaks or whatever, and then Superman's like, "We need to work together. America's a great country. We should be united as one." And I'm like, "Okay, I mean like yeah, I agree." And Superman kind of stands for that, but it just felt so out of place, especially compared to everything else going on. I don't know. I felt like the forced patriotism was completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, I don't know. I don't have a problem with them inserting politics. It's just that the politics just kind of seemed really random. There's talk about the war. There's talk about like sexism. But none of it actually amounts to anything. I think the idea is that like they present all of these kind of like cultural problems, and then that speech about Superman's like, hey, U.S. soldiers, you can fight side by side with superheroes, and we'll all be equal. Except it's all like white men.
Yep.
Like, um, yeah.
I feel like
it didn't seem to have a point either. Like that's the thing. It's very strange. I can see how in a graphic novel series or like a big comic book tie-in thing where with more time they can accurately flesh out these things they're developing, but here it just seems to be like, here's a bunch of random social issues going on in America. Oh, and by the way, also these weird dinosaur mutants are coming out of the ground. It doesn't have anything to do with anything.
I feel like the only reason that the only purpose it really serves, you know, if it's not trying to be political, even though like I find that hard to believe, I wouldn't buy that argument, but it's to set the time period. This was going on at this time in America, so we're gonna just mention it to reinstate the fact that this is taking place in the 60s and not the present day. I don't know. I feel like maybe it was just used to set the scene more, but like, I don't know. I thought it was absolutely ludicrous. Like, that ending especially, it's just this giant, I don't know, cocoon thing that spits out dinosaurs.
Well,
Like,
the most
what?
ridiculous thing is that there's a big dinosaur they fight, and then when they kill it, a bunch of small dinosaurs like jump out of it. Not like it's like pregnant. It's just a dinosaur made of other dinosaurs. I don't know. It's kind of beyond comprehension, really.
It really is.
and such a silly villain climax, all that paired with, you know, real serious issues like racism. It just like, what is this? Why? I don't know. I was bored out of my mind for the first half, and the second half I was just left wondering, what is this? It's got way too many characters too. I don't like, yeah. What is the purpose of the Flash? Like, what is the purpose of Batman being here? What do they do? What are their the Flash has like a thing where he helps like tear apart the big island things spewing out dinosaurs, but like if he was removed from the story, nothing would be missing from it. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, it's a Justice League story, so we gotta have all the Justice League characters, and it's like, do you? I mean,
that's the thing. Surprisingly, I felt like Batman hardly had any place in this story at all, which is shocking because usually he's the most like narratively involved member of the Justice League. So the fact that he's just
one of the most popular characters.
Yeah, not to mention he's kind of like, you know, he's super smart, he's a detective, he's always got a plan, that sort of thing. Like, he's kind of the planner guy. And I don't know, I mean, yeah, I thought it was really, really strange. And this felt, honestly, it just felt like a Green Lantern and Superman movie with Wonder Woman, kind of, I guess. But like, yeah, Flash didn't really feel like he had an impact on the plot. And okay, Martian Manhunter too. But yeah, Batman, Flash didn't really do anything. Wonder Woman, 50-50, I guess. I'm going to be honest. I usually I like DC animation. Don't get me wrong.
I do, too. Yeah.
But do these faces look weird to you? Like, even for compared to other DC animated things, like, these faces definitely look off, right? I'm not just crazy.
No, I think so. There's like, oh, there's so many things. I mean, I completely agree with whatever. I believe the problem with this is truncating a longer story into effectively an hour. You know, when you take out the ending, the credits and everything. Thank you for super chat, Phantom Critic.
Oh, yeah,
but yeah, I feel like so many of the problems, like for instance, Batman rescues a kid, and the kid is scared of him, so Batman changes his mask. Or his costume. And in another story, that could be interesting. In this, it's an event that happens that has no bearing on anything other than to say times are changing. Like, I'm sure with Batman getting his own story in this, that could be interesting. But I don't see how that ties into him fighting dinosaurs. It's weird, right? The other thing about this is that this is so very dry. There are very little jokes or like even lighthearted moments in this. It's very heavy all the time. You know, like Wonder Woman's having a conversation with one of her own people on Themyscira, but she decides that she's gonna kill Wonder Woman while they're sparring to take her place as leader. It's like, what? She can't just have a conversation with another member of her people, right? We can't just have two characters talking like and what did that do for the story? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing
it's just a thing that happens. Like,
yeah, that was nothing more than a distraction.
It feels like there is like a checklist of events that happen in the comics that they want to make sure they hit, but they're not needed for this movie. I don't have the context of the comics. But yeah, it's so dry. There's the only thing I can think of is at one point Martian Manhunter watches Looney Tunes and turns himself into Bugs Bunny. Yeah, and they get Lasky to be Bugs Bunny. That was like, it's not even like a laugh out loud joke. It's more just like, oh, that's cute that they're doing that. But that's it. That's like the one thing in this whole movie. All the rest of it is just talk about serious things and characters having like serious faces looking at each other. And it's just like, I don't know. There's no levity to be had at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's 100% serious the whole way through. Even when they're fighting the dinosaurs and like during the whole grand climax. So
yeah, this
I
is
don't
on
know.
HBO Max if you want to check it out for yourself. I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't either. I'm never gonna watch this again for the rest of my life.
A guy named Crystal says this was the second of the DC direct-to-DVD movies. So yeah, maybe they were just kind of rough at it. Yeah. I know they've made a lot of these things, but I also know, as someone who's tried to watch some of these other direct-to-DVD movies, they can be real, like, not interesting. Again, I feel like a lot of it, maybe if you knew the story from the comics, you wouldn't mind as much that it's like a kind of a greatest hits of them. Yeah. But if you don't know, and there are things in this that I thought worked. Like the opening is this really serious narration about people evolving and life, the dinosaur. Like it's just this kind of like really heavy narration that you're like, ooh, this might be good, and it's got this really interesting style of someone painting, and then it ends with the person telling us this shooting themselves, and I'm like, wow, this is gonna be a real, like, this is gonna be something, and it's edgy, certainly, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's good drama. Also, no. It's funny because we Shadow and I were talking about the president from Rick and Morty being voiced by Keith David.
Yes.
And I can hear Keith David in this. I don't even know what character he is, but I hear him.
He's the weird like evil voice thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, doesn't the island have a voice?
Yeah, and that's him. I don't know why. I mean, maybe that's followed up on in the third film. I have no idea, but it was really strange. But yeah, I noticed that too. I wanted to point that
out. Later movies would do a better job at balancing seriousness with levity. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, don't get me wrong. I don't think everything needs to be Marvel, jokey. Although that's I feel like Marvel's tone is generally what I like personally.
Yeah.
But I don't think everything has to be that. But I don't think this story where they fight like weird dinosaur aliens needs to be as serious as it is. And it's not even that it has to be jokey. It's just there can be more moments of just characters like in having conversation with each other that isn't like the end of the world.
Right.
I mean, there's also Robin shows up in this for like 2 seconds for no reason. This thing is just packed, and it's not even an hour and a half.
Oh, don't even get me started. Robin literally shows up, Batman says, go do your homework, and then he leaves. That is all Robin does in this whole movie. What was even the point? Like, they literally just dropped him in there for 5 seconds just so Robin fans could go, oh my gosh, it's Robin. And then that's it. It's like the most pointless thing ever. Like, I don't know.
This ends with a weird montage of like all these DC heroes and future storylines and villains, and I'm like, was this the pilot to something? Like, I understand that DC has all these other characters and stuff, but it's like, why do we need to be reminded? Like, why do we need a page of an image of just like all the villains, their faces just in blackness? Like, what is this? It's like weird artsy filler.
Yeah.
In a movie that didn't feel like it was rushed, maybe this could be a cool way to end it. But I'm just like, really?
Yeah. I don't know.
thanks for reminding me, Pilot. Neil Patrick Harris plays Flash, and David Boreanaz. I don't know. I don't even remember who he is, but he's in this movie. They got a weird cast. It's a very interesting, weird cast. They put some effort into this, but I just, again, they must have just been checking off like major events that happen in the comics, but not really have the time or I guess.
According to Blythe, he's Batman. Which, I mean, that would explain why I didn't really recognize him, because Batman's hardly in the movie.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think Batman's voice was particularly great or memorable either. I mean, Kevin Conroy will always be the gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
Not that everyone has to be him, but like, I don't know.
Correct.
I just.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was not impressed by this, and I wouldn't really ever watch it again. I don't even know if I'd say this is Emmy nominee worthy, honestly.
I wouldn't. I mean, there's a few things. There's jets, like airplanes that are CG that look really good, I'd say. I don't know. I mean, the animation, as with all Warner Brothers stuff, it's competent. You might not like the art style, but it's very competent. It's not. I don't think this is like a spectacle film, but
no.
You know, the animation does what it needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's more animated than other nominees from previous or future years, I guess. So, like, I can say that at least, right? That counts for something.
Yeah. Let's move on. Well, actually, I don't know. Where would you classify this? What would you say? Was this bad?
I'd say it was just dull. Like, it was like, it wasn't poorly made. That's the thing. It's just kind of like bland. Just a meh. Yeah. I just give it a meh.
I'm not so generous. I found it really boring and then also really nonsensical. I found it hard to follow. Too many characters, too many plot threads that just added up to absolutely nothing. Mm-hmm. As an experience, my mind just kept wandering to literally anything else, because to the point where I feel like maybe I missed story elements just because I was just so bored. I was so intensely bored by this. So yeah, I think it's bad. It's certainly not the worst thing I've watched, but it's definitely bad.
Yeah, we've definitely watched worse. I can say that. Like I said, I just say it's boring. I wouldn't say it's outright terrible, but teach their own. All right, we can move on to the next thing, which is South Park with Imagination Land episodes 1, 2, and 3, the whole shebang.
Did you
see
Muhammad?
No, go ahead.
Did you see Muhammad in the first part?
I didn't.
Well, I guess you don't know what he looks like. But yeah, he was there. This episode was banned at a time because of that, but I don't know. I guess they forgot. He's only in one scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably just missed him then. I probably wasn't paying attention specifically for him. So.
Well, again, you don't know. Do you know what Muhammad looks like?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
It's like illegal to draw. Not illegal, but it's safe
unwise.
To draw him, so.
Yeah, don't do it.
Unwise. Yes.
That's the word.
Here, let me real quick. I'll send you a drawing. You can put them up on the screen.
No, that's okay. I'm good. I like. I don't want to live in fear for the rest of my life. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So this is South Park Imagination Land. The main storyline is that terrorists are attacking our imagination. This land where our collective imagination exists as a physical place, with all these fictional characters, and terrorists have attacked it. Butters gets trapped there and has to help them win a war when the terrorists free the evil imagination people. Meanwhile, the government wants to nuke Imagination Land. Meanwhile, Cartman wants Kyle to debase himself because Kyle and Cartman bet that leprechauns weren't real.
That's a better way to say it, yeah.
Cartman wants Kyle to do an act upon him that I will not be repeating.
It's also the alternate title for this special, apparently. At least
very
according
good,
to the opening crawl.
Yep. Mohammed wasn't in this episode? I'm pretty sure. Well, oh, maybe not. Maybe it was just the rest of the Super Friends. I don't know.
I mean, I do remember seeing Jesus at least.
Well, yeah. That's in the last part. But yeah, so what'd you think?
It was a lot. Like, it was a lot, but in a very different way from Justice League, I feel. Like, Justice League just had too many characters and, like, too many things going on, narratively speaking, where this was just, like, there was just a lot going on screen all the time, it felt like. Like, especially with, like, of course, one of the biggest appeals I would probably imagine to this special would be all the different characters that show up at various points and the different parodies of them. I mean, you got, like, what, Freddy Krueger, Luke Skywalker, the Lion from Chronicles of Narnia. Like, it's just like a whole...
Mario with an E.
Yeah. It's just a lot. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I think it's fun, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love this sort of thing. I mean... But, yeah, I'd say it's very chaotic, I guess would be the best word I'd use to describe it.
Yeah. I think... the best way I would describe this is it's in the same vein as the Black Friday trilogy, which only the one episode was nominated when we talked about that, not the whole trilogy. But just like that one, which would come later, I think this is not helped by being a three-parter. I honestly think that this story could have been told in 2 or even really 1 episode. For whatever reason, South Park really likes to drag out concepts that don't necessarily warrant them. I feel like this is an interesting idea, but the story kind of, it stagnates, and it feels like it just kind of goes back and forth. Like, they're gonna nuke the Imagination Land, then they're not, then they are, then they're not, and it's just, it feels like, again, you could trim this to 44 or 22 minutes and get, like, the best parts of all of this. And I think the novelty of seeing all of those characters wears off by the third part.
I think would also agree.
You know, I think this could really be like a really gangbusters single episode. But as a three-parter, I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of done with the idea by the third part, really. I kind of like the subplot more than I like the main plot, just the ridiculousness of Cartman really, really badly trying to get Kyle to do this thing, and all of the ways that Kyle gets out of it, and they go back and forth on it, and then the ultimate resolution, which is like basically a third option, which is like Kyle both wins and loses. It's
silly. Yeah.
No. Like I think they were clever in doing that. I don't want to say grounded story, but a story that's a lot more linear than the like great sprawling war of good characters, evil characters, terrorists, government. Like, I don't know. I feel like all of it just kind of gets a little lost by the third part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, you're probably right. This could be done in 2. But it gave us Man Bear Pig, so that was pretty cool.
It didn't. It Man Bear Pig was from a previous
Are
episode.
You serious? Okay. Well, never mind then.
Never heard, yeah.
Okay, listen. I know of Man Bear Pig. I don't know its origin. I just know it exists.
Well, its origin is that the creators of South Park were climate change deniers and then made Al Gore look like a joke and insulted him just because he tried to get people to care about climate change. And then years later, I had to make an episode apologizing because they helped spread ignorance about climate change.
Oh, how about that?
Funny joke, though.
The more you know.
Love Man Bear Pig.
Sure do.
In the same way that they, caused a bunch of people to be awful to redheads. Gotta love South Park.
Oh, South Park. You're so influential in all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not enjoy this as much as Black Friday. Maybe it's... Well,
you didn't have to watch all 3 parts.
That's also true. The references also were a lot more broad and non-specific. Compared to Black Friday, which was like leaning in heavily on like the specificity, I can say that word, of Game of Thrones and the console wars. Whereas this one, it was just like a whole lot of stuff going on in terms of the different characters that would appear. But there just seemed to be like one primary like story, and then the subplot with Cartman and Kyle.
There are some weird stuff too. Like you can see in that picture that Kenny and Jimmy are there when they initially visit Imagination Land, and then they promptly disappear from the story.
Yeah,
like they literally disappear from the story.
Yeah,
not literally, but they are not seen again. And
Butters has a significant role though.
Yeah, good old Butters.
He's the key to all of this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't dislike this. I feel like the main appeal is the novelty of the characters. You know, you'll have a lot of shots of just like crowds of these characters, or like shots of like, hey, isn't it funny to see Strawberry Shortcake being tortured? Maybe not funny, but like isn't this a thing that you'd never see anywhere else? And I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of cool. Like it's fun, like looking in the background and trying to find like the most obscure characters, because there's a lot of like really commonly known ones, but then there's like a handful of real weird ones. Like I'm trying to think offhandedly.
I will say,
honestly, Snarf is kind of an obscure character at this point.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think too that this was made back before a lot of like referencing other properties in media became like super popular to do, thanks to the internet, like kind of going crazy over that sort of stuff.
I think it's around that time. I mean, 2008, wouldn't that be around the same time as the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny?
Yeah,
right?
but like that, I wouldn't say that was really hitting like popular media just yet. You know, we still weren't getting like super big crossovers all the time, and like, I mean, we still get crossovers. I'm not saying we didn't. I'm just saying I would say that back then, like when this episode premiered, it was probably a lot more exciting than it would be now. Because I mean, at least me, I've seen like this sort of like reference everything stuff a lot more frequently lately.
Well, I mean, you watch Robot Chicken, right? I mean, this is like very Robot Chicken-y.
Yeah.
Not in terms of style, but in terms of like the jokes about like woodland critters tearing apart strawberry shortcake seems like a bit from Robot Chicken. Could have been.
Absolutely.
You know? For reference, since you wouldn't know, the happy little they're not the happy little tree friends. That's an entirely different thing.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. No, the woodland critters, they are from a Christmas special, which Cartman makes them up basically just as an excuse to torture Kyle. Or no, torture Stan? I don't even remember. Basically, they are fictional characters within South Park created by Cartman a few years before this, or a year before this. The Christmas critters. There we go. And they are real dark characters, and it's cool to see them get a reappearance. It is cool to see a callback to Man Bear Pig, because even though you know, it's certainly not a great thing overall, that episode is certainly iconic, and people are right. Man Bear Pig isn't in that other episode because it's fictional. The idea, because that's what they're saying. Man Bear Pig is climate change in the world of South Park, and they're saying it's fictional and not real.
Gotcha. Well.
Oh yeah, Franklin the Turtle. Yeah. That's
yeah.
That's a one.
Yeah, good old Franklin. I did not like this show. Anyway.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Don't take me back. Don't do it.
Are you on Team Little Bear?
Yes, I am 100%, dude. Little Bear's way better.
Well, you could either be Little Bear or Franklin. You couldn't like both as a kid. That was illegal.
Yep.
No, I'm making all of this up.
Well, it's how I felt, at least, so.
Every time I mention Little Bear, I must bring up his toothpaste.
Of course, the Oral-B.
No reason. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of substance here, because it really is just a lot of, you know, callbacks to other South Park jokes and background characters. I thought this was okay. I'd put this in the okay category, where I didn't hate watching it, but it's a little boring. I think it leans a little too heavy on its own gimmick and a little too light on the jokes.
Yeah, I'm inclined I'm inclined to agree for the most part. I wasn't thrilled by it, but you know, it's fine. It's not offensive. It's not insulting like other South Park things.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, you know, don't think too hard about a South Park story, but like, why was the leprechaun even in our world? Like, how did the terrorists get to Imagination? Like,
Yeah,
did they make their own gate? I guess.
there's
I
certainly
don't.
some open ends that aren't really answered.
Right. Someone mentioned it earlier, but the kind of like message at the end is really nice. The whole idea that like fictional characters honestly have some of them have had more impact on the world than real people you know and or on your life, and it, like, you know, just because they're not real doesn't mean they can't have a real impact. And
Yeah.
it's these characters exist as important symbols that that really resonate with people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. South Park's characters themselves have had a huge impact on things like.
Oh, they certainly have. So glad climate change isn't real.
Oh yeah, that's it.
At least they apologized.
Yeah.
But well, there's another episode. Butters' very own episode is the title. Where they make fun of 3 different cases that like the people got declared innocent but were obviously guilty, including like OJ. But one of the people that were so obviously guilty and they make fun of in the show actually ended up being cleared. Like, they completely got it wrong.
Really?
And they just made fun of like a couple that was just mourning their kid that they had nothing to do with you know, disappearing or whichever story that was. Wow. I don't know. They you know, South Park creators are not infallible.
Yeah, I mean, they got the 2016 election wrong, so. Just saying.
Well, I can tell you next week we'll get to talk about a much better South Park thing.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of it overall?
It was fine. It was fine. Like I said, the probably the most exciting thing was I Spy, and I did I did enjoy the absurdity of Cartman like going to what end, and every time there's like a moment of them two together, he's wearing a different costume every time. It's just like, okay. So yeah, it's silly, it's fun, and yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't really want to go back and watch this again. Either, but. Yeah,
I don't regret watching it, but I don't need to ever see it again, to be honest. And I felt that way when I watched it the first time, especially just because it's like when you hear that it's a 3-parter, you kind of expect more. I guess that's really it. Like, they could have done more with this, but they really just kind of lean on a lot of back and forth stuff. They lean on the gimmick a lot.
Absolutely.
How do we feel about the sequence making fun of movie directors? That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, what a twist. Oh yeah, and Kurt Russell just being thrown in the squad of soldiers just because. He's like, I'm an actor, not a soldier. He's like, yeah, but you did this in that one movie. Yeah, that was fun. I'll give it that.
Yeah. All right, next up.
Next up, we've got Family Guy, Blue Harvest, a Star Wars parody special. I have strong feelings about this one.
All right, so you've seen Star Wars, Episode 4.
I've seen many the Star War.
You, the audience, you've seen it. You know what Star Wars is. That is this episode. That is the recap. I'm not gonna give you a recap because it's Star Wars. It's just Star Wars. It's just Star Wars.
Yep.
With some Family Guy jokes, but it's just Star Wars.
It's just Star Wars.
There's a power outage, so Family Guy decides to tell his family about Star Wars, and then argue with his son, played by Seth Green, about Robot Chicken.
Yep. Who did it better? Also, there is Star Wars.
George Lucas said that he liked this.
Are you
That
kidding
doesn't
me?
surprise me because George Lucas has a terrible taste.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong there.
George Lucas also liked the prequels, so what does that tell you?
Well, Jar Jar was the key to all of this.
It seems today that all you see is Star Wars parodies and TV and Star Wars movies in the movies. But where are those any other stories?
Okay, so I know that there are people who like this. I'm gonna try not to offend any of them. This is
offend people.
This is the worst piece of Star Wars media I've ever seen in my entire life.
Woo!
Like I'm gonna be unapologetic here. This is the worst like trash of anything Star Wars related I've ever seen in the history of ever. So I don't like it. I think it's awful. I think it's absolutely terrible. I think the jokes, none of them are really good. I think the animation's very plain. There's a lot of like reused animations and looping of things just to draw out like gags that aren't funny to begin with.
Explosions just stolen from the movie.
Yes, like literal footage stolen from the movie. A lot of scenes emphasize the music, and it's like, yeah, that's Star Wars music, and John Williams did a good job, but how is that like enhancing this special at all? It's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Williams.
And then he dies, but then his music continues playing anyways.
Oh no, we gotta do this with Danny Elfman.
And it's like, yeah, that was dumb.
But Shadow, what about my couch?
Oh my gosh, that is like
Did
the
you like
Simpsons
the
couch gag
joke?
done wrong. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
What if instead of a joke at the beginning of the Simpsons episode, it's just a joke?
Just a
about
montage
couch?
of them trying to get a couch through the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, hilarious. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to offend anyone who
watch-
likes this, but it's awful garbage. I'm sorry.
You ever want to watch Star Wars, but like every few minutes they stop and tell a really boring bad joke?
This felt longer than the actual 2-hour movie, and it's 44 minutes, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Ugh.
Well, I think it's impossible not to compare this to Robot Chicken, because we've now talked about 3 Robot Chicken Star Wars things, and because this episode literally compares itself to Robot Chicken, which I don't...
Did it better.
I guess this is the second time we've had one nominee reference another nominee, not in the same category, because the Vat of Acid episode references Pickle Rick.
Yep.
So, the fact that Peter argues with Chris, played by Seth Green, about Robot Chicken doing it's just weird. It's confusing, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not confusing because I get what they're talking about, but it's confusing in that like. Did they copy each other's ideas?
Yeah,
like,
that was something that I was thinking too. Is like did they both sit down at a table one day and it's like, okay, my show and your show, we're both gonna make Star Wars parodies in the same year, and we're gonna
both of us are gonna
include
voice
each
act
other.
in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Okay. Like I'm genuinely curious if they actually did that and had that conversation, because I wouldn't be surprised. But I will just say right off the bat, Robot Chicken's parody is infinitely better in every stretch of the imagination. Like, dude, I'll take Robot Chicken's random sketches about just like in-jokes about Star Wars any day over this. Let's just do episode 4 with our characters and ruin it.
Yeah, well, so Robot Chicken, like, I groaned at having to watch the 44-minute version, like the third episode, and even some of the other ones I kind of groaned at, but there are funny jokes in there, and there is basically the Robot Chicken is people who actually care about Star Wars telling really interesting and bizarre jokes within the Star Wars universe, whereas this is Family Guy. It's just dumb humor.
It's basic.
But
it's so
but
basic.
But it's just Star Wars. The plot doesn't deviate from Star Wars, and it's just why I've seen Star Wars, and it's weird because there are things in it that indicate that they're trying to take it like seriously, like this is like some big epic special thing they're doing, right? There's like long shots of the ships shooting at each other, and there's moments where the Star Wars music really like wells up, but it's not used to to be funny. It's just like they actually have this like dramatic buildup in the same way the regular movie does, but then it's just followed by like a joke about Peter trying to take a couch from a trash compactor. Like, not funny, or a joke about when Peter, who's Han Solo for whatever reason,
That's
takes a
thing
call,
or
he has to respond to the radio with the stormtroopers, and instead he becomes like a call-in DJ. It's like, these are bad jokes. There's the Griswolds. They got Chevy Chase to be Clark Griswold for a random joke about the Vacation series. Those characters just driving in a space car for a second. Why? That's not funny.
No, it's not. It's just random.
Toon J, thank you for the super chat. What's better, this or the Phineas and Ferb one? Honestly, I barely remember the Phineas and Ferb one, but it's got to be better than this.
I haven't even seen it, and it's probably better.
Doofenshmirtz's Darth Vader, right? I think, if I'm not misremembering, that as a concept automatically is better than any of this crap. It doesn't even make sense. Like, what character is what? It's like they're like, oh, Brian's furry, so he's Chewbacca. Chris is blonde, so he's Luke. And Luke's dad, Darth Vader, is gonna be played by his baby brother Stewie because
his mom is his sister.
Yeah, why?
It makes
and isn't it
no
funny?
sense.
We made Meg the
trash compactor monster, which shows up for one shot.
Take that, Meg. I don't get it. I like, why are Quagmire and Cleveland R2D2 and C3P like
horrible assignments of characters.
They jammed the characters into things that don't fit, and they play it so close to regular Star Wars that it just comes off as watching a bad version of Star Wars.
Yep, absolutely.
Listen, the Pinky and the Brain / Animaniacs Star Wars parody is great. I've seen Star Wars parodies that work really well. This doesn't. I just there must be the novelty of watching these characters that, for whatever reason, some people are really attached to, be put in the Star Wars universe. That must be strong enough to carry this, because I don't see any merit. I'm not a Family Guy fan, so and I'm not trying to insult anyone who does like this. I struggle to see the appeal at all. I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan, and I'm certainly not a Family Guy fan. I don't get it.
I don't either. I think this is absolutely atrocious. Like, it's insulting to Star Wars fans. I really think that. Because it's as basic and low effort as you can get. It did nothing to put a spin or a twist on Star Wars. I can't even tell that this was made by, like, genuine Star Wars fans. Like, with Robot Chicken, like, you can tell there's a lot of, like, love for Star Wars within that special. Within all the specials. With this, no. This is like, I saw Star Wars at the theater once, and this is what I remember.
Yeah.
No, I hated it. I absolutely hated this.
It feels like a nostalgia critic version of Star Wars.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I agree.
Yeah. There wasn't anything I liked in it.
Not a single thing for me. Nothing.
Yeah, why is Peter Han? Like, that's the weirdest choice. You know, like, okay, if you're gonna make Chris Luke, then make Peter Darth Vader. And do something stupid with that. Like...
Yeah, for real. Not counting the things that really shouldn't even have qualified for nominations, this is probably my least favorite thing we've had to watch.
Really? I don't think that. We have to watch Big Mouth. Twice.
You know, you make a compelling argument, but I try to push that show out of my memory, so...
You're just a big Star Wars fanboy.
I am, and that's why it bothers me, because it's terrible. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. I have nothing positive to say, so... I'm sorry to people who like it, but I just can't see it.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I know, again, to reference that Pinky and the Brain one... The thing that really works about it is that they don't, like, they do the Star Wars story, but they like truncate a few of the movies together. Like, there's Yoda in it, but they also make it be like, I'm trying to remember. The Force is like the jokes or something. Like they're Obi-Wan is played by Slappy, and she's Slappy Wanna Nappy. Like they change all the names and they make it a parody. They make it funny. It's like this is literally just Star Wars, but with Family Guy characters standing there.
Yep.
It's weird. Thank you for the super chat, Blackworm. Who says, almost everything in Family Guy now are inside jokes. You could tell they're just trolling the audience at this point. I mean, this happened in what, season 6? This is a long time ago. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess to their credit, they probably did just make this to jokes that like Seth and the crew thought were funny. I guess.
Like, I don't know how they thought it was funny, but I guess humor is
subjective. I don't know. Yeah. There's CG in it. It's not particularly impressive. It's not bad, I don't think, but that's another. The CG actually, although the CG itself isn't bad, how much they linger on these shots that like, okay, they spent a lot of money getting the 3D rig to make the Death Star. Like, good job, guys. Like, they spend a long time on these establishing shots, and it's just like, yeah, and it's like just the cell shaded sphere, like with some windows. Like, it's all right. It doesn't look terribly dated, but it doesn't look impressive.
No.
Oh wow, people are very passionate about this. Thank you for the super chat, Phantom Critic, who says, I wish Family Guy handled this Star Wars special better.
Me too.
Us too as well, yeah. Oh god, I forgot. I blocked that out. Thank you for the super chat, Adam Grunther. Herbert as Obi-Wan was super unsettling. Yes. Why did they make the pervert, the person who is attracted to Chris and other underage children, why is he Obi-Wan? Because he's old? Is that really it? They really couldn't come up with any more Family Guy characters? That's it? Like, that's what we have? He's old, and so we have to have jokes about him liking Chris in a special way? Like, get out of here. I don't understand how that's funny. I don't. I really don't. I'm not saying you can never make jokes about these disgusting people in society, but like the way Family Guy does it, it's gross. It's absolutely gross. And to see it inserted into Star Wars is to see the relationship between Obi-Wan and Luke be portrayed in that way, I feel is a special betrayal of those characters.
100%. This is like
like the joke. The joke is, it's an old guy hanging around with a young person, so it must be some sort of inappropriate relationship thing, right? Like, that's the joke.
Yeah. Pathetic.
Hey, can anyone tell me why it's called Blue Harvest? Shadow has a theory. What's your theory?
My theory is blue milk. So my theory is it's called Blue Harvest because in episode 4, the reason why Luke has to stay behind on the farm is because he has to help his Uncle Owen with the harvest, and because they drink blue milk while they're there. So they called it Blue Harvest because of that. That's my guess. Because those two words come up in reference, or as referenced in that movie. That's it. That's my guess.
I wish we could have gone to the Tachi station.
I want to go to Taji Station to pick up some power converters.
Instead of watching this. Blue Harvest was the working title for Star Wars. Why didn't you know that, Shadow?
I don't know. I guess I didn't.
The Jedi. Wow, Shadow.
Okay.
Blue is the crying color. This made people cry because of how bad it was.
It was very bad. Well, I never want to see this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, this had more Seth MacFarlane in it than the Robot Chicken one, so obviously it's worse.
Well, by your standards, yes. That's not why I hate it, but it is worse.
I gotta be honest, this is starting to make me appreciate his Palpatine voice a little more, because I don't like Peter Griffin, I don't like Stewie Griffin, I don't like whoever the heck else he voices in this, Brian. Does he voice Peter? He does voice Peter, right? I can't even remember anymore.
I don't know.
My brain is
so.
just,
I'm pretty sure.
just melted.
Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, there's a big music number that Herbert sings to Chris.
Yeah, that was that was.
It's
I don't like using
peak
this
Star
word.
Wars.
I don't like using
Yeah.
this word very much, but it was cringe. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call it an animated atrocity.
Well, I would nominate it for one, but I'm not the guy who can really call it that, am I?
There you go. Enter should rebrand his show as an award show. And the atrocity goes to.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually not a bad idea. You should pitch that to him.
Gosh. Yeah, he does Peter, Brian, Stewie, Quagmire. Oh, I forgot about Quagmire. Excuse me. I'm surprised he doesn't voice Meg. Am I crazy, though, in that, like, in a lot of ways this feels tame for Family Guy? Like, just how closely they stick to regular Star Wars is just weird.
It is.
If Family Guy's known for one thing, it's like over-the-top shock value, and really, other than Obi-Wan being Herbert, it's not really even shocking or gory or surprising in any way. Like, I feel like the greatest strength that Family Guy has, I say this to someone who's not a fan of it, is its shock value, is its random cutaways that just kind of get you because you're not expecting them. And yet, this whole thing is expected, right? Like, sure, there might be some random stuff like the music number, but the story is all just 100% just Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. It is. There's nothing original to it at all. It's just the movie, but worse.
You should see the next 2 Star Wars episodes. Well, they weren't nominated for Emmys, so I'm not doing it.
I'm never watching it.
Well, beloved dub-dub. Sinnoh says, I'm a Family Guy fan, but thought this was incredibly boring and uncreative. Yeah. Yeah, but for whatever reason, right, and I remember this episode got a lot of buzz. A lot of people talked about it. I don't know why.
I don't
Maybe
see
at
how.
the time, I don't know. Well, what did you say about they don't make Star Wars parodies now because Star Wars is actually happening and the parodies only get made during the gaps?
Yeah.
Were people just that starved for Star Wars?
I mean, this was 2 years after, 2 years after episode 3, so...
Yeah.
Like, the series at that point, like, we never knew when episode 7 was coming out. It was done as far as everyone knew. So people were probably still riding off the high of the prequel movies.
Do you think that there could possibly be, like, a human out there that doesn't know what Star Wars is and thought this was an original Family Guy story? Do you think there could be, like, some single human living out in the woods? They don't have cable, but they get, like, Family Guy DVDs.
I mean, on a planet with, like, what, over 7 billion people, there probably is, but I would still be surprised regardless. And I hope there isn't.
I'm gonna show my kids this and tell them it was Star Wars.
Star Wars ripped off this special, yeah. Tell them that. Oh, that's cruel. That is so cruel.
Oh man. Don't they mention it's Star Wars in the episode? But if you've never heard of Star Wars, listen,
they could just...
It's a big planet. It's a big planet, all right? Not everyone has access to the pop culture we do. I know, it's highly unlikely, but I'm just saying. It'd be hilarious. There might be one person. What did we think of the opening crawl joke? Well, I find it funny that they well, not funny, but I find it ironic that they make fun of reading, and then they give us a ton to read. Maybe that's the joke. But... we stopped reading it halfway in because it was stupid.
I didn't read any of it.
It was a lot to read. And doing a Star Wars text crawl joke is like about as basic as you can go.
Yeah, it's super unoriginal. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have nothing good to say.
All right, yep. All right, so we are going to talk about the 2021 the Daytime Emmy winners. The kids show ones. We will talk about that, but first, let's wrap all this up. Don't forget, there is a link in the description. If you can go vote on these 3 TV movies, which one you prefer. There's also a link to our Discord. Come hang out if you would like. And yeah, so how would you rank these?
Blue Harvest is at the very bottom, and then I'd probably put Justice League second, and I'd give it to South Park, honestly. I would give it to South Park, just because the other 2 I like less.
Yeah, I didn't like any of these. Front row. Blue Harvest was bad, but I don't know. Justice League.
I'd watch Justice League again before Blue Harvest.
Oh God, I don't want to watch any of these.
Well, neither do I. But I'm just saying, if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick one.
I know. You're really.
I'm really adamant, man, dude. I'm adamant.
You're just in love with Star Wars. I'm not as in love with Star Wars, so I don't really see it as a betrayal so much as it's a boring Family Guy episode. But that boring Family Guy episode is shorter than the boring Justice League movie. All right, I'll put Family Guy at the bottom and I'll do your order. Family Guy, Justice League, South Park.
That is the correct response. As deemed objective by me.
At least the Justice League has like the absurdity of the dinosaurs. And Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny isn't in the Family Guy one.
It's true.
But Bugs Bunny might be in Imagination Land. I don't know. I didn't see him, but he could be there. How are two of these references to Star Wars? How is Luke is in Imagination Land and Stormtroopers? Like, what the heck, man? Why are people so obsessed with? Is Star Wars the only movie the Emmy voters have seen? They're TV people, obviously, so they don't watch movies, but they've heard of Star Wars.
Of course, it's like a pop culture phenomenon, man. Everyone knows Star Wars.
Yeah, at any rate, that's it. Imagination Land wins just because I find it to be okay instead of bad like the other two. What won? What actually won the Emmy?
Oh, well, wouldn't you know it? It was Imagination Land. How about that? What are the odds?
Imagination.
No, wait. I think it goes up on the next one. You're a little flat. You're a little flat. Imagination. Yep, that was the winner.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do the poll and then talk about the winners of the?
Yeah, let's do the poll. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Listen, we don't get to pick the TV movies. They're just there. I don't know why these got picked. They're very random. Hopefully, I'm sure next week we'll have some better stuff to talk about. And in dead last with 23% of 361 votes is Justice League: The New Frontier. With 24% by 1%, Family Guy: Blue Harvest beat it out. And then South Park: Imagination Land blew them both out with 53%.
Yeah, it's pretty unanimous then.
Yeah.
Which of these takes it? Okay, so yeah, Imagination Land.
Yep.
Not a hard victory, but
Someone in the comments called New Frontier one of the greatest superhero movies ever, and I really hope they're being sarcastic.
I would hope so too. Because that was anything but.
Yeah. I mean, like, I could see someone liking it, especially if you know the story, but, like, how could you say that's the best superhero movie? Like, that's rough. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Tim Whitfield. The Muppets could spoof Star Wars a lot better. I wouldn't be surprised if they have at some point.
I feel like they probably have, yeah.
Yoda is kind of a Muppet, really.
Yeah, Jim Henson.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's follow that up by talking about the 2021 Daytime Emmys. So, the Daytime Emmys are still filled with many mysteries. No one really knows how they work, but also no one cares about them. Until now. Now that they've quarantined kids cartoons to the Daytime Emmys, we suddenly must start caring about them. However, for whatever reason, because only the primetime Emmys do it where it's an episode that's nominated, and only for the animated stuff, I don't know why, these are instead entire shows that get nominated. So who knows, who saw what? Like, did they watch the whole show, the latest season? Did they not watch any of it? Just went by what they've seen and heard of? I don't know. The thing is, like, objectively, I think nominating a whole show is, like, really cool. Like, I like the idea of it, but I know the people who vote on these things aren't going to watch a whole show. So I think practically the way that the primetime ones do it with the cartoons does make some sense.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, let's see. So, let's see. I don't know. We need to go through all of these. Let's see. What categories do we care about? Okay, outstanding children's animated series.
There you go.
So, the nominees were Amphibia, Craig of the Creek, Hilda, Kipo, and Tales of Arcadia Wizards, which is some other Netflix show. 3 Netflix shows, a Cartoon Network show, and a Disney Channel show. Hilda won.
Okay.
I saw season 1 of Hilda and didn't think it was really anything special at all. I thought it was just like fine, kind of cute, I guess. I would have given this to Kipo 100%, but to be fair, that is the only thing I've seen aside from season 1 of Hilda. We talked about Kipo at length on our old show Stream Soda. It's a pretty fantastic show.
Absolutely,
it
100%.
really, like, really slick animation, really cool style. You know, casual gay characters. Like, it's a really cool story. Really cool show. I highly recommend it, and I thought it was a lot more interesting than Hilda personally, but maybe Hilda gets interesting in season 2. I don't know. I've also heard great things about Craig of the Creek and Amphibia, so
yeah, I can really only speak on Hilda season 1 and Kipo as well. And I've seen some of Craig of the Creek season 1, but again, I would assume they're probably going off of the latest season. I mean, maybe that is a incorrect assumption for me to make, but I would just assume that. But no, I think Kipo is a fantastic show, and I know that Amphibia certainly has its fans. Craig of the Creek has its fans. So like this is a pretty decent selection. Like I'm actually kind of satisfied with it. But yeah, I can't speak for all
SpongeBob.
I know, right? No Teen Titans Go either.
In this category. Yeah, it's funny. Teen Titans Go doesn't get really nominated that much, does it?
I think it gets stuff for Kids' Choice Awards, but
no, that's still SpongeBob.
Wow. Okay.
SpongeBob sweeps it every year. So outstanding special class daytime animated program, which I don't even know how can they call this daytime if Netflix and HBO Max originals. How are streaming shows considered daytime? I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. The nominees were Adventure Time, Distant Lands, Obsidian, some Netflix thing called Angela's Christmas Wish, Baba Yaga from Baobab Studios, Here We Are, Notes for Living on the Planet from Apple TV Plus, and Xavier Riddle and the Secret Museum, I Am Madam President from PBS.
Dude, I heard Xavier Rutt, and I thought Xavier Renegade Angel for a second. I was like, what?
The best cartoon?
Clearly.
Yes.
You want peak animation, that stuff. That is Emmy Award worthy right there.
I don't understand how Obsidian could be lumped in with the rest of these, like, really young kiddie stuff. Obsidian's great. I would have given it to that. Apparently the Apple TV Plus show won, but no one has Apple TV.
So I find it hard to believe those people even watched it.
That even though I have Apple TV Plus just because of my I bought an Apple TV and it came with it. Mythic Quest is great, but no one's got Apple TV Plus. No one's paying for it, so I don't know what you're doing, Apple. All right, let's see. Sesame Street Town Halls won Outstanding Educational and Informational Series. Outstanding Short Form, there's a preschool stuff. Outstanding Writing for a Daytime Animated Program.
Oh, here we go, writing.
Almost all of these are streaming services, so again, the definition of daytime, what, because they drop at 12:01 a.m. and on the West Coast, that's daytime? Is that what we're calling it? All right, they should just call it midnight, right? A midnight animated program. All right, so again, Distant Lands, Obsidian got nominated. Big City Greens, Hilda, Phineas and Ferb the movie, Candace Against the Universe, and Star Wars: The Clone Wars. All of it. Even though only one season, right? Like,
yeah, because it was just season 7. But okay, apparently all of it is nominated.
All of it, baby. Let's nominate a show from 2012. Woo! I don't know when it came out. 2014. I think.
It started in 2008. I don't know when it ended.
Oh, all right.
But
yeah. Oh, I also find it funny why is Obsidian and the Phineas and Ferb movie lumped in with 2 TV shows and then 1 like season of a TV show that's a reboot, but not a reboot, but like a a whatever
Continuation.
Continuation. Like what is this category? I guess outstanding writing team. I don't know. What does that even mean? Writing team?
Yeah, the team. So the people who wrote it are outstanding, but not the actual writing on the show.
Say the story. Just say great story.
No, it's the people. The people on that show are better than the other people. That's what they're saying.
What do you think won?
What should have won or what did win?
Oh, you got it in front of you.
Yeah, I have the link up.
Oh, all right. You shouldn't have looked because
I'm sorry. I'll stop looking for all the future things you talk about then.
Phineas and Ferb the movie won.
So the people who wrote on that are better than everyone else.
I would again give it to Obsidian. Phineas and Ferb the movie is fine, but how is the writing in that movie like great?
Yeah, seriously, that's not the best part of that film by a long shot. We actually talked about that on Stream Soda as well. Check it out.
That we did. Yeah, and then it's a lot of kid stuff. Sesame Street wins in a lot of these categories because it's Sesame Street, right? It's an institution. How do you beat that? All right, outstanding voice directing for a daytime animated series: Animaniacs, Hilda, The Mighty Ones, SpongeBob SquarePants, or Summer Camp Island.
For outstanding voice acting or
it's directing?
Directing.
Yep.
Well, it better not have been Summer Camp Island because I don't like that show. I don't know.
Okay. It was Animaniacs.
Oh, okay.
Which, fair enough. They got some great voice actors on it. Sorry, Tom Kenny.
Aww.
And that's about it. Certainly not as exciting.
No. To be fair, though, I'd rather talk about the outstanding shows than what we actually will end up talking about in September, so.
Yeah. Kind of disappointing, but it's also, it feels less special when it's just a show that's nominated because it's like, how do you
judge that?
Well, how do we judge that? How do we know what were they sent? Like, I don't know.
No idea.
Don't worry, Jeopardy won Outstanding Game Show.
Good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
This is important.
Unless it was Wheel of Fortune, I guess. I guess that's acceptable.
This Old House from PBS won for Outstanding Instructional and How-To Program. It beat out I Like to Make Stuff from YouTube.com.
Okay, good.
A YouTube show got nominated.
For the Daytime Emmys.
That's how you know this award show means nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, dear. Yikes.
Yeah, that's... Ugh. The Emmys are a joke. And rigged.
Yeah. That was the working title to this show.
It really was, no joke. It was The Emmys Are Rigged.
Oh, here we go. There's another one. Outstanding original song for a preschool, children's, or animated program. Why even have to say preschool or children's if it's just animated? Why? Why say it like that? Whatever.
Because they need to be demeaning.
It's all the same crap, too. Adventure Time, Obsidian, Monster, Animaniacs, the Suffragette Song, Elena of Avalor,
Ooh,
Something
Elena.
in the Air.
There you go. That's a show we've talked about.
Phineas and Ferb the movie, Candace Against the Universe, Such a Beautiful Day, and Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, Nothing Left to Lose. And the Suffragette Song from Animaniacs won.
Huh?
Again, I would pick Obsidian. I stand Obsidian. Don't at me. Go ahead and at me anyway. It's better than all the rest of this. Well, how else are we going to fill up 15 minutes, Shadow?
I don't know.
The show has to be an hour and a half.
It doesn't have to be.
No, it has to be. We can't let the people down.
Well, I don't know.
Who do you think won as outstanding guest performer in a daytime fiction program?
What are the nominees? I need to know.
Anna Maria Horsford as Jolene Hernandez. A. Martinez as Nardo Ramos. Ron Moss as Ron Moss, Andy Serkis as Mayor of Minnestrot, Wanda Sykes as Noah's mom. From wait a minute, hang on, or Randy Wayne as Matthew Johnson. But I want to point out Wanda Sykes is Noah's mom in Noah's Ark: The Rona Chronicles from YouTube.com.
Oh my god.
Andy Serkis one. What is Noah's Ark: The Rona Chronicles? Is it Noah's Ark in COVID times?
I don't know, but you should look it up.
It's a 2020 short. Pandemic-era reunion special of Patrick Ian Polk's groundbreaking Noah's Ark series. What?
I don't know what that is.
Noah's Ark. Oh, it's...
What do people...
Oh. It has nothing at all to do with Noah's Ark in that sense. It explores the daily lives of Noah, Alex, Ricky, and Chance, 4 African-American gay men in Los Angeles, through their relationship with their friends and lovers.
Oh yeah, that is not what I thought it
this.
was. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Good for them.
I was gonna say, what do people?
I'm glad they got to reunite on YouTube.com.
Yes, YouTube.com. Truly.
Like Netflix gets to be Netflix, but YouTube is YouTube.com.
You know what? They probably count it because it's YouTube TV and it's got TV in the name, so it's TV. There you go.
Andy Serkis one, just so you know.
Oh, okay. I was hoping to be Ron Moss as Ron Moss, but...
Oh, Alice Trebek won Outstanding Game Show Host, of course.
Of course.
I mean, you know, good for him.
Fair enough.
Sad times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what else. These categories are not that interesting. It's mostly just people.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill won an award for being Voley on Elena of Avalor.
Oh,
that's cool.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Good job, Mark.
Right? Good for him. Oh, yeah, a voice actor from Mau Mau won something.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that show.
Parker Simmons saw, like, 2 episodes.
Huh. I've heard...
What's chat saying? Is chat sick of us? Is chat ready for us to leave?
Well... So, Pinata Time asked, what are we gonna be watching and talking about next week? Well, that's what we announced at the very end of the thing. So.
Yeah. You're all held hostage as I just ramble through these nominees. Listen, Sean Evans for Hot Ones was nominated for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show Host, but lost to Kelly Clarkson.
Oh.
That's sad.
Oh.
Have you never seen Hot Ones?
No. I don't know what that is.
What?
I don't know what that is.
It's a show where the celebrities eat the hot wings, and Sean Evans asks them really bizarre questions. Like, now in 1992, you took a picture standing on your head at a friend's birthday party. Could you explain the origins of that picture? And then he pulls out the picture. And then the celebrity's like, hey, how'd you get that?
You act like I know what's on TV nowadays.
It's not on TV, it's a YouTube show.
You act like I know what's on YouTube nowadays.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, the only thing I watch on YouTube is like gaming content, okay? I don't know what the casual normies are watching on YouTube. Except Baby Shark, I guess.
You want to talk about... We got 10 minutes. Want to talk about the Rick and Morty episode I made you watch?
No, I don't. I don't even know how we're supposed to talk about that on your channel while keeping it PG. That's messed up, okay?
I made Shadow watch Rick Dependence Spray because I was telling him it's in contest for the worst episode of Rick and Morty. Okay.
It is.
And Shadow was like, worse than the Minecraft episode? And I'm like, yeah. Worse than the Dragon episode? Yeah. Worse than the pilot? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, the Emmys suck so much that next year that could be the episode that's nominated, and I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what? I hope it is, just to like force the Emmy voters to watch that, and then they won't anyways.
There's a female empowerment message in there, so you know, it doesn't matter how it was handled, right? It
doesn't matter if it's good or not. It's just there.
No.
I mean, that's how Big Mouth gets nominated.
Yeah, if the characters take like 5 minutes to just offhandedly talk about some issue, right? It doesn't matter if it has anything to do with anything. That's Emmy worthy right there.
Yep, that's Big Mouth for you.
Talk about Arthur ending.
Arthur is ending. It's done.
Over. It's gone. He will no longer walk down the street. You can rest safely. You can walk down the street not worrying about Nardvar clenching his fist.
I was just about to say my reaction to Arthur ending is me clenching my fist. That is the best Arthur meme.
I don't know. I thought Arthur had ended 12 years ago, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I can't really be sad. It had a really good run. You know, I watched it as a kid. It meant a lot to a lot of people, and it's cool that it went on for so long. The Flash animation looked terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Arthur as a kid. I'm gonna be honest. I have like zero attachment to it nowadays, so like I don't know. I'm unaffected by it.
Yeah.
But you know, still, it was a good show, and it had a solid run. I mean, it was still doing really like noteworthy things even within the last year or two. So I don't know.
You excited for the Vindicators spinoff? Not of Arthur, of Rick and Morty.
No, I'm not.
Oh. What about Crocubot?
Well, Crocubot did do very well for me in our one challenge run, but that's about all Crocubot has going for it, so. Not as good as my Plusle, though, but second best teammate. Or maybe I'd give that to Love Disc, I don't know. Good times. Go watch our challenge run from like a year and a half ago.
It's on Pie Guy Plays.
It is. And then go watch Pie Guy's streams. He streams quite frequently.
Yeah. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow at 7.
There you go.
So.
Check it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could talk about Sonic.
Yeah, my boy bought the complete the complete series of, or not the complete series, but the complete pack on Steam of all the Sonic games.
Shadow forced me to buy
I did not force you. I literally Nick Monsters and I all told you it was a good deal.
With the money that I could have given to a legitimate cause, you know, like
Sega.
like Sega,
like
the Nintendo Corporation. Yeah. So anyway, I have a bunch of Sonic games now, and I'm probably gonna stream some of them with Shadow.
Do it.
It's gonna be a new series on my streaming channel called "Trying Not to Hate Sonic." And we'll see. We'll see if there's any Sonic thing that I can not hate. We'll see what happens.
I think you'll find something in there that you don't hate. I think you'll find stuff that you do hate, but I think you'll find something you like.
It's more just the fandom that I don't like.
Oh, no, dude, I hate the fandom too. Believe me, I hate the fandom.
But we'll see. We'll see. We'll probably be streaming some Sonic. You're down for that, Shadow?
Absolutely, man. It's Sonic.
Okay. We could probably, I think we might be able to play the racing games against each other. Can you answer, hey, here's a question. If Sonic is the fastest thing alive, why does he need a car?
There's a Sonic short about that. But you don't know what Sonic shorts are, probably. So.
Oh, of course there is, because Sonic's got to be meta, right?
No, the reason Sonic's in a car is so...
Super chat.
I was going to say, the reason Sonic's in a car is... No, I need to answer this. The reason Sonic's in a car is to give everyone else a fair chance. It's to give everyone else a fair chance. There. Question answered. Super chat, go.
Thank you for the super chat, Tim. Did you know Happy Days won 1 Emmy for outstanding multi-camera picture editing for a comedy series? That was its only Emmy win. I did not know that. No.
I did not know that, but thank you for the fun fact.
I'm gonna be the next Aaron Hansen. Listen, if there's one thing I dislike more than Sonic, it's the Game Grumps. If there's one thing in this world that I cannot stand, it's the Game Grumps. Uh-oh, Shadow, why did our concurrent viewers go down to 0?
Go down to 0? Why? It's because you're not loving Sonic enough, of course. Listen, you wanted to extend this 15 minutes, so here we are. I don't know what else to tell you, man. That's all I got.
What Sonic game should we play first, Shadow?
That depends. Do you want to go in chronological order?
Let's go worst to best. Let's start with 06.
No. Okay, well, first of all, the worst Sonic game is widely debated amongst many people, and I would argue that
I'm already bored.
I would argue that Sonic Forces, which you have, is the worst Sonic game, but that's just me.
No,
I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but that's me. I think Sonic Forces is
2006
insultingly
GameCube edition
terrible.
of Sonic is the worst Sonic.
The 2006 GameCube edition? There wasn't a GameCube version of Sonic 06?
Sonic and the Secret Eggman. It was bad because Sonic's arms were not the right color.
Oh God! Don't bring them up. Don't bring that person up right now.
No! I didn't mean. Oh crud!
What have you done?
No. Okay, so Shadow, what's the nominees for next week?
Okay, so the 2007 Emmy nominees for Primetime Emmy Awards, Best Animated Program. We have. I need to get these pictures loaded. Gosh dang it. Okay, so first up.
No. What movies would we have nominated this week? We forgot to do that.
Oh shoot, you're right. I would have nominated.
So
my selection would have been The Big Boogie Adventure, because 44 minutes counts.
Okay.
I think it's 44 minutes. So.
Mine would have been The Day of Black Sun parts 1 and 2.
Good choice.
From Avatar. Because I'm just going to keep picking Avatar until I can't, because Avatar's great and deserved to be nominated more than just once.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't complain with that. All right, so the nominees, 2007, we have up first, South Park, Make Love, Not Warcraft. That's a pun. Haha. Avatar: The Last Airbender, City of Walls and Secrets. Robot Chicken, Lust for Puppets. It's got Mario in it. The Simpsons, The Haw-Hawed Couple. And last but not least, SpongeBob SquarePants, Bummer Vacation, and Wigstruck.
What a spicy mix there.
Yeah.
Some real good stuff, some real bad stuff, and The Simpsons.
Well, there you have it. So that's what we'll be talking about next week. So if you want to go ahead and understand everything we're talking about, go ahead and watch those episodes before the next stream.
Oh, people are bringing up Ben 10 Secret of the Omnitrix. Honestly, it's not that good. I hate to be that guy, but I don't actually think it's that great.
Oh, you're that guy, all right.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for being here. I'll be streaming tomorrow at 7 on my gaming channel, so check it out. And yeah, with that, PIEGUYRULZ.
See you guys.